Welcome to the Raglands. We are talking about those downhill thumpers in our latest edition of our NFL draft rankings. Kyle Gaffner is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. Like I said, another edition of our rankings, our top five. We're talking inside linebackers today. And the first thing we're going to talk about before we get into our rankings, the NFL is changing a little bit. It's becoming a little smaller, and well, you're not seeing as many of those big downhill bruisers as you used to.
Nope. No, you're not, man. It is. And ever since it's changed into such a pass-happy league, people don't want them big guys that are going to be in there stuffing the run because they're not going to be able to be in pass coverage. So they want the more athletic, slimmer, quick guys to go out there and be able to cover the quick wide receivers and even the athletic tight ends out there.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, I believe only one team in the NFL last year ran the ball more than they threw it, and that was it. That's it. So it's insane the way the game's changed.
And I know it's done this before. I think this happened in the 80s where it was a real pass-happy team or a real pass-happy league, and then it went back to the old school, like run stuff and run it right up your throat, and then real good defense. And now it seems like it's real pass-happy. But I think that has a lot to do with fantasy football, too. It's geared towards that and a lot of points and stuff. So I think that's why it's happening as well.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some of these studs coming up. I mean, you got Luke Kuechly, only 235 pounds. If you look here at Philadelphia, Jordan Hicks, only 235 pounds. There's just no such thing as too small anymore. It's insane. And even looking at other, outside linebackers, so to speak, you got Mark Barron that has made the transition. Alec Ogletree got hurt. He moved from safety to linebacker, played really well. You got Deion Buchanan from Arizona, plays like that nickel linebacker role. It's the game's getting smaller. Linebackers are getting smaller, and those big boys, you don't need them anymore.
No, you're not. And then if you're able to, it can kind of hurt teams sometimes if they run it, which they rarely don't, because they can kind of just get pushed out of the way. But Telvin Smith's another guy. He's only about 220 pounds too, but he's real quick and he's all over the field. So, I'd rather have those fast, quick guys to be able to do it just because of the game and the way it's, pass happy now.
Yeah, and it's pass happy, and even guys on offense are getting smaller. These wide receivers, guys in the slot. I mean, these guys are shrimps, really.
They are. There's there's no discrimination to be how small you have to be in the NFL anymore. I mean, they're getting smaller tweeners.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into our rankings, and the reason why we're bringing all this up is because the top guy in this class at inside linebacker. We're talking about a guy that's a big bruiser, a guy that likes to play inside, a guy that's about 260 pounds. He's a monster. And we're talking about Reggie Ragland of Alabama.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. I mean, he's great in run defense. He brings a real physical, nasty, tenacious part to the game, and I love it. He's not that athletic, which kind of hurts him in the run game or in the pass game. I'm sorry. But he's a two-down linebacker who'll be able to get up there, get in the gaps, and stuff the run. I like him.
Yeah, he's like that old school kind of linebacker. Didn't time well in his 40, but I do think he plays a little faster than he timed, although the overall athleticism is not really there. Very strong at the point of attack, sheds blockers, very good tackler. Good lateral movement and agility for a guy that size. Navigates through the trash, gets sideline to sideline. So pretty good player. I think he's the best one, obviously, in this class at inside linebacker. Yeah, he's a baller.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. And it is a little bit of, inside linebacker is not as strong this year because, like you said, it's changed so much. And my second guy, I really like this guy a lot too. Now, he's got the athleticism. He's got the the nastiness too. He's all over the field. I think he can play all three positions, and that's Scooby Wright, Mr. Scooby Snacks. We'll be feeding that guy a lot because he's going to be all over the field. I love him. Tackling machine. He's even got some pass rush ability too.
Yeah, Scooby Snacks. I should have named that the title of the show. I like that. I got Kentrell Brothers of Missouri at number 2, and just talked about that big-bodied linebacker, physical specimen. That's what Brothers is. Stout, shows a lot more instincts and awareness, I think, than Ragland does. Seemingly always around the ball. Led the country, 152 tackles, and that's actually 19 more than everybody else. So this guy is a tackling machine. So there it is. Scouts are a little bit concerned, though, because he's only 6 feet tall. His arms are a little bit short, but whatever. Fuck the scouts.
Doesn't matter. Them measurables, who cares? Like we said before, people are getting smaller, and that might have mattered, a couple of years ago, but now it doesn't even matter. If you can ball, you can ball.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about ballers that can ball, that leaves me to my number 3 pick. I am going Homer here. I'm not going to lie. Complete Homer pick. Temple's Tyler Matakevich. There it is.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, despite his limited athleticism, he's got a lack of size, struggles a little bit in pass coverage, but I think he has all those other intangibles to be a really good player. Has the intelligence, has the instincts, has the tackling ability to be successful, plays the run really, really well. He's a leader on the field. He's a Temple guy, Temple tough. I like him.
You can't teach that leadership either, man. That's Temple tough, and it's right within you like that. And I think he's going to be a good player as well. Key guy to a defense. I got Jordan Jenkins at number 3. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He does everything pretty good, not anything special really well. He's gritty at the point of attack. He will shine if there's another an all-star type guy on the other side, kind of like when Leonard Floyd was there. But he's going to be a solid player, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go number 4. I'll go my guy because I got Scooby right. You already talked about him. Very similar to Matakevich, I think. Small, not the most athletic, but just highly productive, high motor, always around the ball, very instinctive. Obviously, what's going to hurt him coming off those, he had knee and foot injuries over the last 2 years, so that's definitely a concern. But when you watch him play, really good player. Mm-hmm. I like him. If he can stay healthy, I think he can be successful. That
will make him break his career if those injuries, just nagging injuries, will drag out through somebody's career. I hope it doesn't because I think he's going to be a special guy.
Yeah, agreed. Go ahead. Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Kentrell Brothers. You kind of touched on him too. He flies with the ball. He seems to be everywhere on the field. Consistently around the ball. He's going to be a solid NFL guy. I really like him a lot. Big physical guy. You could stick him right in the middle. I think he could even play a little bit of strong side because of his athleticism too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 5, rounding out my list, Nick Vigil of Utah State. For whatever reason, I've always kind of liked watching Utah State. I don't know what it is. There's just something about it. Maybe it's because I like watching Chucky Keaton a couple years ago. I don't know.
Like an underdog story type of thing, maybe?
Yeah, I tend to like watching some of these smaller schools. I don't know what it is. I mean, Nevada's another team I really like to watch because I like watching that pistol. But Utah State, Nick Vigil, very good playing the run. Does a good job running sideline to sideline. Another one that's a bit undersized, but who the hell cares? When I watched him at Utah State, every time he was on my television, he popped out at me. I like him. He's my number 5. Might be a little high, but whatever.
I don't think so. I got Jalen Smith, actually, and the only reason I have him so low is because of the injury. I mean, on his last game, he blew out his ACL and his MCL, completely decimated his knee, man. I feel bad for the kid. He would have been the best linebacker prospect, yes, even above Miles Jack, even though he's my favorite guy coming out. But it's a shame. He could run, defend. He could play middle linebacker, outside linebacker. He was great in pass coverage, fast, great leader. And something like that to play in a pointless game at the end of your career, it kills you.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. And, just to show you the versatility of Jalen Smith, he's going to be in my outside linebacker rankings. So he can play inside or outside.
Yeah, I mean, a special kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a real damn shame. And, we'll see if he can bounce back from the injuries. That's going to be the topic for our next show. We're going to talk about, injuries and stuff and just how far in the draft can you fall if you have one. And, are Jack's medical recheck's a big concern. So that'll be for our next show. That's what we call a teaser here. Women know it very well. They like to tease.
They do.
They love it. Oh, yeah. So we'll get to some sleepers right now before we close off the show. Even though I don't necessarily have a sleeper, but I do think this guy's pretty solid. I would have had him at number 6. That's Stanford's Blake Martinez. He's a guy I just don't think will be a bust or anything. I just think he'll be a productive player in the pros. Other than that, The inside linebacker, just like last year, not really a strong class.
We haven't had a strong class in quite some time at the backer position. I mean, you had already touched on this guy. I had Tyler Matakevich. I'm pronouncing that right. Real instinctual player, just got a nose for the ball. Not really athletic. He's not going to burn you away with his speed, but he's just going to make big plays when you need it. I think he'll be a 3-down linebacker. A big solid guy for your team. He's just going to make plays when you need him to. And a great leader, as we touched on as well.
Yeah, if you guys want a comparison of like a pro player, I mean, I believe he was only a rookie though last year. Of Matakevich, it's Jake Ryan of Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really think that's a good comparison because Jake Ryan fell in the draft because he didn't have the measurables or the athletic ability. But when you watched him at Michigan, this guy was always productive, very instinctual, very intelligent on the field. And he reminds me a lot of Matakevich. And obviously Ryan's already making immediate, dividends playing for Green Bay. So, yeah that's what I see.
He started last year. He came on late. He was a late-round draft pick because of what you just mentioned. Made him fall in the draft, which I think is silly. I mean, they get so caught up on, the athleticism. Is he going to be fast enough? He's not tall enough. Like, as we touched on before, if you can play football, who the hell cares? Like, give the guy a flyer. Give him a chance, But that's a perfect comparison, Adrian.
Yeah, I wondered why they fall. Is it because they don't have upside? Is it because they just I don't know. I never understood that. Like, there's guys that I like in college that are slow, but they translate to the NFL. It happens all the time.
Yep. And it's not like, the whole 40 gets projected and put on this pedestal like, oh my God, or is everybody out there with a stopwatch? Yeah. Oh, look at him. He just flew the ball at 4.3. No, who cares? If he gets the ball and makes the plays, who cares? If he runs a 5.1.
Exactly. Matakevich was probably like the slowest guy at the combine too. He ran a bad 40, that's for sure.
Did he run like a 4.8?
It's something like that. It wasn't good. He is a ginger, so all those gingers automatically get points off the athleticism.
He has no soul.
None. All right, that's it for this show. We're going to be right back. We're going to do outside linebackers. It's time to get jacked up.
Right.
Later.